This is Shania Chambliss on 478 TV.
All right, with Miss Shania Chambliss. Glad to be doing this with you right now. You know, been a long time coming. We have an entrepreneur, activist for cancer. We have model, real estate, mom. You know, all in one. You know, nice to sit down with you. Just tell the people a little bit about yourself.
So I'm 28 years old. I am a mother, a business mogul, I guess. I have a few businesses. I'm a makeup artist, an insurance agent. I'm also a president and CEO of Operation Slay Cancer, a breast cancer organization.
Okay. So, you know, for the people that don't know or not familiar with Macon, like, kind of, you know, tell the people, like, where you from, like, where you grew up.
So I grew up on the Northside of Macon. My family, we lived in a home off of, we started off on the west side, I guess, by Bellevue. We used to live in this neighborhood off of Carlisle Avenue. And then my parents, you know, they moved on up when we moved to the country near Lozella. So growing up, I had a lot of influences. My grandfather, he was a local barber here. He still is. He's 89 years old. Still cuts hair to this day. He was the barber for legends like James Brown, Otis Redding, Percy Sledge, Little Richard. Just a very inspirational man to see. My grandmother also was an entrepreneur, so I had a lot of entrepreneurial background.
Okay. Talk about, you know, the daily life of you growing up. Like, what were some of the things that you remember seeing growing up in Macon?
The daily life for me was growing up in downtown Macon, hanging out at the barbershop, the beauty shop with my grandparents. My mother, she worked a lot, so instead of being at home with my grandparents, we always went to work, me and my cousins with them. So my grandfather, he would have us doing different odd jobs around the barbershop. Cleaning up, you know, running errands, just, you know, living the downtown life, experiencing different other entrepreneurs, meeting them downtown, and I don't know, it was a great time growing up.
Talk about, like, you know, in your household, like, what was your household like?
My household was I had a great upbringing, but I had some struggles. My father, my biological father, he was in jail most of my life.
Okay.
And so we really had an estranged relationship. He, you know, eventually got out, and, you know, now, I don't want to say that, but he's really badly on alcohol. And so it really has put a barrier between our relationship. But, you know, my parents, which are my mother and my stepfather, they've always been so supportive to me in my dreams and my aspirations. So shout out to them.
What was your relationship like with your mother?
My relationship with my mother, we were very close. My mother she was a nurse, and she is a nurse. And so she worked really, really, really hard. And that's just something that I really, really admire about her. She went to school. She was a single mother. And, you know, eventually she found my stepfather. And, you know, I'm glad that he brought that happiness to her. Yeah.
Well, you know, what was it like for you to grow up, like, without your father? Like, do you think it affected you in any type of way?
Absolutely. Like, you know, seeing kids with their father, and, you know, even though, you know, I had my stepfather around, he was around since I was probably 2. It was still a void. Just, you know, wondering why my dad wasn't around. But, you know, I guess there's no triumph without pain, so it's something I had to go through.
Are you an only child?
I have a 15-year-old brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was it like for you being, like, an older sibling?
For me being the oldest sibling, my brother was my baby. Like, I was 12 years old when my parents had him. And so I took a real big responsibility of just keeping him when my parents went to work, or if they were at church, which my family was very heavily in. My brother will always be up under my wing.